Holy fucking shit, motherfuckers, dude. That was fucking bad fucking ass, man. Fucking Black Horizons, dude. Chaos Vector, Summoner Circle, motherfuckers. Let's call these motherfuckers up right the fuck now and see what the fuck is going on in their world, man.
Hello.
Hello, Summoner Circle, dude. What's going on, man?
Man, we did a little rehearsal tonight, getting ready for our big show tomorrow, and yeah, everything's cool. How about you? How you doing?
I'm still alive, man.
yeah, that's good. Yep.
So, fucking dude, man, this record is fucking bad fucking ass, man. I can't say that enough, man. Like, I've been blown away since you guys sent me the sneak preview a while back, man. Thank you for that, by the way. The video for Chaos Vector, man, it's fucking, what the fuck, man? There's like castles and shit and fucking.
Yeah, it's a cool place. It's called, ironically, it's called the Fortress of Faith, and there's this old castle out here in Greenback, Tennessee, where this guy was told by Jesus to build a castle with his own hands, and he's been building this thing on his own from whatever, like garbage and stuff for like 25 years. 25 years he's been working 25? On it. Yeah. And the guy's name is Junior. He's like really country. He's a super nice dude. And
that shit crazy, but super nice.
Yes.
Like you talk about just all kinds of theories against the government and whatnot. But he's super nice. When you meet him, he's a nice guy. So I don't want to say anything really bad, but he's just like your.
No, you just called him batshit crazy. That's
I'm sorry.
Good way.
In a good way.
Good way. Yeah.
He's fun.
No offense.
But yeah, it was like 13 degrees that night, and the batteries kept dying, and the in-ear monitors we're using trying to play along to the video, and it was interesting.
Killing camera batteries, killed our fog machine too.
Yep. And the heater we bought, the construction site heater we brought with us, didn't work.
So we were just really inhaling all the diesel fumes from the generator.
Yeah,
but it also kept us warm. So it's like, do we breathe these diesel fumes and stay warm, or do we freeze our asses off? And it was kind of like, well,
we've never been the same since.
No.
Yeah.
How did you guys talk him into letting you do the video?
He's actually, he was cool. We have a friend of ours who knew him, said, hey, if you guys ever want to shoot a video, there's this creepy castle up there. And it is. If you ever come up this way, it's definitely worth a walk through. It's odd. And he talked to him for us, and we went and talked to him, and he was all for it. He wants all the publicity he can get for his castle, and.
Yeah,
so we're happy to do it.
Ignore any signs that say anything about the media when you get there. There's a lot of signs going in. It's like, dude, if you talk to the guy and you get there and you're cool about shooting some stuff, as long as you're upfront with him about it, he's usually really nice. He's like, whatever. He's like, I don't care. Just don't, hurt yourselves or what. It really seemed like as long as you're not hurting anybody and it's storytelling, he was totally cool with it.
Yeah.
No matter what your religious sect was. It wasn't like, you can't do things against God or anything like that. It was like, we just went in there and did our thing, and he was totally cool about it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. I'm definitely going to have to go out that way one of these days and check that out. Has he seen the video?
I don't know.
We honestly don't even know if he has internet access.
Hey,
right.
He got full access to BTS throughout the night, so he kind of saw it from a whole different angle.
Right. He was behind the scenes all night. Yep.
We had funeral, like fire piles up there and whatever.
Yeah.
Funeral piles. Well, I don't know what I'm saying.
What, fire.
Fire. We had fire up there, and then we made some hot dogs, but that's not in the video.
Right.
Should have been, but it costs money to get all that in the video.
Didn't have the budget for hot dogs.
Yeah, we didn't have a budget for hot dogs in the video.
Yeah, we had the same guy who shot the Become None video do this one as well.
Very cool, man. Very cool. And you guys had Laura from Feminazgul in it, man. Fucking tell us about that.
Laura has actually been a good friend of ours for a really long time, and she is originally from the Knoxville area.
Mm-hmm.
I've known her since she was like 16 years old, and she's always been very active in the local heavy metal scene. She even did the local college heavy metal radio show here for a number of years until they just wouldn't let her do it anymore. Like, you graduated a couple years ago. So at that point, she moved out to Asheville, and after a while started her own band out there with Feminazgul, and it's just been taking off with that.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool, man. As soon as the video started and I seen her, I was like, hey, I know that chick. That's fucking awesome.
Every single opportunity we get to have her as our show sacrifice, she's always willing to do it.
Yeah,
we've probably cut her more times than anyone else.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
And she dies very well.
Yes, she does. Sometimes she coughs up blood on people. It's magical experience.
Yeah,
right.
she did a great job, man. Stellar performance for sure.
Yeah, she did a really good job with the acting in it, and I didn't know she had that skill, So it's very cool to see that.
It is cool, man. Hope maybe that'll open up some more doors for her too. You never know.
Absolutely. She works hard. She's a really good person, and I'm happy that things are working out for Feminazgul as well, and that they're doing as well as they're doing.
Oh yeah. So back to Summoner's Circle, man. So this new record, tell us about it, man. Like, what was the recording process like, and what are these songs about, man? I know you got Cthulhu on the front cover, which is fucking awesome.
Well, we had decided really from the time that we finished recording the last album that we wanted the next album to be a concept album. And I thought, I've got just a story to tell for that. Because a number of years ago, I had this really weird fucked up dream that ended up becoming the lyrics in Apostasy. Just this messed up shit about a pregnant woman being crucified upside down and stabbing a dagger into her gut, and the fetus just becoming this crazy eldritch horror and crushing a dude's skull. And I woke up from that thinking, that was kind of badass. and I just played around with it and just developed a story that led up to that point, and then beyond that, I said, let's do this story. And so we just started working on it, and Chaos Vector, we actually wrote Chaos Vector right before we went on tour with Children of Bodom, really just as a necessity, so we could squeeze in a shorter song and not be stuck with only playing 3 songs on that tour.
It ended up being really cool though, so we're happy about it. We wrote it really quickly. It just fell together,
Yeah, it was just the perfect storm. It was exactly what we needed, and it was a lot of fun to do.
Also, I remember doing the video for Chaos Vector that it was like we found out we were gonna basically Become None was gonna come out as a release under Pavement when we had our independent release, and it was like we'd started working on this new music, and they were like, we're gonna release Become None now, and it was like, and we're going on tour with Bodom. It was like, well, we got to get this song done and get this video done and just get it going, and then it kind of we played it on tour, but everything else kind of chilled on the back burner until after that tour.
Like, and then chilled all through 2020.
All through 2020, and here we are.
Yep.
So we spent a good long time writing the music. I mean, we had plenty of free time on our hands, so we finished the music, hopped back into Wave Transform Studios. Yannick Bercier recorded this album as well. Just got everything finished, and
we sent it off to Tony Lindgren at Fascination Street Studios in Sweden, and he did the mastering for us. He's done, if you can name a band that's like an awesome metal band, he's done it, from Amon Amarth to a lot of the Gothenburg bands, and
Dimmu.
Dimmu. And they're kind of as a matter of fact, the target track we used when we were doing the mixing, we were listening to a lot of Dimmu, and we're kind of going for that kind of that sound. We don't really sound like them, but at the same time, we wanted that sort of
production
quality, right? The the guitar tone and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's got that wide spectrum.
Yeah, very, very much. We got a really good separation of the instruments in this, much better than the last album, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So far, people seem to be digging it. Hit the streets today, and we're getting some pretty good feedback. Couple of haters, but that's always the case,
Yeah.
And not everyone's gonna like it. No, we're not for everybody, that's for sure. But yeah, it's I don't know. We're just happy that it's finally out. Again, we sat on this material for about a year, and so it's nice to see, to get it out there, and hopefully get out there soon and start touring.
We've honestly sat on the finished product, yes, for about a year, because we were writing well before that, and then it's like you get it recorded, then it's like, no, we're gonna wait a little bit, and then
we were in the studio in, was it July
last year, and basically finished everything up, and then it's like, well, how do we release this now with the world how it is? And then eventually you just got to release it, so here we are.
That's right.
Good old Chaos Vector and COVID, we're all together in a big happy ball of shit together, so
that's right.
Here we are.
Hell yeah, man. Fucking speaking of live shows, man, you guys just played a live show with opening up for the Skull and the Obsessed, man. Can you tell us about that?
It was our first show in a year and a half. It was also our new rhythm guitar player's first live show with us, and it went over really well. It was a great show. And then a large number of people came down with COVID.
Yeah.
And one of them, of course, was Eric Wagner.
Yeah.
And that's a guy, as a matter of fact, I walked up to him and I was telling him, when they started their set, we had to tear down, and we were over by the merch booth, and I hear this voice just coming from this, like filling the hall, and it's this voice I've heard since high school, man, when I really got into trouble. And I got into trouble. But man, it was a moment for me, because Trouble was a huge influence musically on me, and hearing that ethereal voice come out, it was like, wow. I had like one of those, this is really cool. And then of course, he ended up getting COVID, and how many people we know at that show? It was
about a dozen.
A dozen people ended up catching COVID that night.
It's been a rough couple of weeks since then.
Yeah, and man, I just, within a couple of weeks after we played, he was gone, and it was a heavy thing, man.
Yeah, that happened so quick, man. It was crazy, dude. Like I remember seeing that he was going into the hospital, and then it was literally just a couple days later, like 2 or 3 days later, man.
Oh, and the guy, he was great on the stage. He didn't look like he was feeling bad. If he'd already had it, he was asymptomatic at the time or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, we had no idea that, like, literally within the week after we played, that we hear that members of that band had contacted COVID and he was in the hospital. Like, it was like, oh, and then people that were close to us had contracted COVID and were sick as well. So it was a very paranoid and very like, what is going on? We just did this thing, and now
it's that high from playing your first show in a year and a half, and it was a Monday night. The place was packed. And the show it couldn't have gone better. And then that happened, and it was really, it's like, oh geez,
man, he was such a nice guy too, man. Like, and that he was the first fucking major interview that I ever did as like, that's what started me off with doing radio interviews, man. Like back in 2014 when he released the Blackfinger album, I got contacted by somebody that asked me to do it, and I was nervous as hell, man. Back then I didn't know what the fuck to say. Like fuck, man, I gotta fucking write down questions and shit, and I'm fucking pacing around the floor and shit, fucking talking to him. But he was such a cool dude, man. He made me feel comfortable and was just telling me all these crazy stories and stuff, man. It was.
I mean, everybody on that tour, the Obsessed guys were really chill, and the Skull guys were great, and even down to the crew, the crew they had were super nice.
It was a very intimate night too. Not only was like everybody there to see the music, but I felt like it was like everybody there was there to put on a show, and everybody was making sure everything sounded right and went well. So there wasn't anything weird. It was only a few days later when we found out people were getting sick and this happened, and then it just accelerated really fast, unfortunately. For Eric and their crew and their band, it was like, oh crap, you know, like what happens now, you know, and then what do you do from here? And we're just stuck in this world now. It's like a reality, like what does next week bring, and how do we respond to that, and does society do or a band do when you're faced with that, you know? And some of that you just don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. Gravehuffer actually opened up on that same tour too, and Richie Randall came down with COVID as well, man.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Richie's a good dude, man. We had a series of dates set up with Gravehuffer right when COVID first started and everything shut down, and we had to cancel. So we've been wanting to redo something and go out on the road with those guys, because they've been, you know, supporters of us, and we support them, and they're good dudes.
Yeah, I remember when I saw you guys were gonna do a show together, man. I was like, dude, I gotta make it out to that one, man. I got to. And then the fucking COVID pandemic hit like right then, dude. I was like, fuck.
Yep.
Fuck. But anyway, man, fucking hopefully, I don't know, like what are your how do you guys feel about the future of things? Like, where do you think it's going, man? Do you think it's gonna
hopefully things will pick up in the new year. I think things are going to be kind of slow, and everything's going to be by ear up until then. You know, we're definitely we're going to play some shows and see how it goes. We got our CD release show tomorrow. We're requiring masks indoors at all times. So, trying to do the smart thing, for our protection and everyone else's protection. It's we want to keep playing shows, and we want people to be able to continue to come see shows.
Yeah.
And so, how do you do that? You stop being selfish, and you do what you need to do for life to get at any semblance of normal. And
I spend time talking to people throughout the day. I work in retail. I won't go into details about that, but I tell people when they see me and I'm wearing a mask, I go, hey, look, it's dealer's choice. I'm wearing a mask. I'm around a lot of people all the time, so it's what I do. I try not to get into the political aspect. I just say, hey, look, I'm just watching out for other people. It's no big deal, and usually people are cool with that. And they go, oh, I got to wear a mask. I don't wear a mask. And I just look at them and go, I was like, that's your choice. I said, I'm wearing this because I think it's the right thing to do. If somebody's at a show, like if you talk to me more in depth, I'll probably say, hey, it's probably a good idea to mask up when you're around a lot of people right now, because I played a show a few weeks ago and the dude in the band died. Like, vaccinated or not, people are dying, like it's a good idea to be intelligent about your own personal decision, either about what you think of other people, or if you're going to be around a lot of people, you might want to just think about that, and that's really all I tell people is like, hey, I do it for myself and for my family, and like people around me. If I'm carrying it, I don't want to spread it around, so I know it's a really hot topic, but whatever. What do you do? damned if you don't, so
yeah, for sure, man, for sure. So what's coming next for Summoner's Circle, man? You guys got what do you guys have planned up for the near future?
Man, we're going to try to get some tours set up in the new year. We got a couple of possibilities, nothing we can talk about yet, because nothing's for sure. And again, with the COVID situation, it's kind of hard to tell.
Everything is subject to be postponed and or canceled at this time.
Yep, but we've also been doing more writing, and we've got enough material already for another EP. So if things do end up tanking and going back into a lockdown situation, we know what we're doing.
We do have another video coming out in the next week or two.
Yes.
That is coming out from this release. So that will be in the near future, something for anyone to check out, whether or not they go to a show or not. You can go.
Yeah, it's the next
our YouTube
single.
channel and subscribe, and there's a video coming out.
It's Apostasy.
Yeah, Apostasy.
Yeah, technically the single is already out live today.
Video was supposed to come out the 6th, I think.
Yeah, that's subject to change, but there is a video for Apostasy coming out.
Hell yeah, man. Can't wait to see that shit.
there's a bloody mass of hair and gook in it as well. It's kind of neat. Yeah.
We made a mess.
We did.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Well, for all the gearheads out there that are wondering, can you give us a little rundown of like some of the gear that you guys were using to get these sounds on this record?
We'll start off with the drummer here, Invictus. You can.
Hey guys. Yeah, I've been here. I'm just hanging out, you know. So for the album, when we recorded, I'm just gonna go ahead and start off with the gear that wasn't mine. And I'd like to thank Yannick, our studio engineer. I was able to actually borrow the snare drum from him for recording the album. I believe it was a Yamaha Oak Custom, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
And then my kit, which I've been using with Summoner Circle just for live shows and for the studio, is it's a D-drum reflex kit. Typically using Evans drum heads and Sabian cymbals for the most part. And then electronics, I've got that handles my bass drum is a TM2, a Roland TM2, and I'm using Foot Blaster triggers for that setup, and that's pretty much the gist of my drum sound.
E-Talk here with bass. So this with this album, this is the second one with me and Bercier working together, getting a great tone for Summoner's rhythm section. And on the last album, we had used a Kemper Profiler to get my bass tone together, and it came out pretty good. But the second go around, Steve DiGiorgio of Testament also records with Gone in April, who's in a band with Yannick that records at the studio. He had mentioned this preamp of like, hey, let's check this out and see what we can do. And it was a Dark Glass B7K, which I think just had its 10th anniversary of release or something like the other day. And we got such a killer tone from that preamp. I was like, well, this is it. And me and Bercier looked at each other like, this is the thing to go with. So that was my main tone, was using that B7K by Dark Glass. And they've been really coming up in the bass world. A lot of guys are talking about it. And then I went back to my Fender Getty Lee Jazz bass, which I used on the last recording and another recording. So that was kind of at the core of my bass tone, but my writing can come from anywhere. But that's kind of what I went with.
And I think that the bass tone was definitely, it was nasty.
Yeah, it had a little grit to it.
It's got it has a lot more grit than the last one. I really liked it. The same for the guitars. All the guitars were recorded with a Kemper Profiler, and we were using a profile that was taken from, I think it's Frederick Nordstrom. He recorded Bodum, and he has a whole suite of products. And we actually used, we started with the profile from In Flames Clayman album.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. No, I love that album.
Yeah, and we tweaked it a little bit from there to get it like we wanted. And, the thing that I had, talked to Yannick about before coming in, because we tried probably 15, 20 different guitar tones, is I wanted more hair on the guitar compared to the last album. I wanted it just to be a little more ratty, a little more black metal, and but still have a good punchy mid, not all scooped or anything like that. So yeah, we ended up going with those profiles. I played my Solar 1.6 Artist RD Flying V, and that's just the stock Duncan Solars at that time. And that's it, man.
That's probably the beginning of our Solar relationship too.
It was
that guitar. So everyone in the band that plays strings now, we're all playing Solar instruments, but that instrument on that album was what kind of set it off.
Yep.
And blind here, I just used my vocal cords. That's all I got.
He screamed and made throat noise.
I just made ugly ass throat noises, and it worked out in my favor.
Yeah, but yeah. You had some inspiration from your weird dreams too.
I mean, that's for the lyrical content and the story and all. But really, that's just how gross can I make this without making myself sick? And that's what I went for.
Hell yeah, man. All right, I got some questions for you guys coming in from the listeners in the chat room.
Oh, cool.
Lady Red wants to know, what do you prefer, bubble baths or blood showers?
Oh, should I go first?
Yes.
This is E-Talk. I have always wanted to do a blood shower on stage. This is like a thing I've talked about for 2 years. So I will say blood shower. That's me.
He's like, yeah, we could build a blood shower and
we have a dead cow above us and like, oh, it'd be so beautiful.
And then there was another thing, he wanted to put a bunch of dead leaves on the stage and hop out from the dead leaves. I don't know where that one came from.
That question just played in tonight's theme. Like, we weren't even on this interview yet. We were talking about like my weird eccentric ideas, but I'll definitely go with the blood shower for me. What do you think, Blind?
Oh, definitely the blood shower.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna be the weird one and say the bubble bath.
Invictus wants the bubble bath.
Drummers, man.
He needs to soak his thighs after playing all that vicious double bass in the bubbly bath.
Yeah, but can I choose like the color of the soap? Maybe, you know, so like the bubbles are like red. Can we at least go there?
You go.
So they end up looking pink.
But like, let's make it look cool. Can you make a bubble bath look cool? Is that possible?
No, blood showers look cooler than bubble baths.
No, I'm not gonna argue with that.
Okay.
Definitely not.
Blood bath for Summoner Circle.
There you have it. Lady Red also wants to know, did you guys like playing in Canada?
We loved it. Canada was amazing. The best response that we had of anywhere on that Bodum tour. Canada blew us away.
Yep.
In fact, the second night of the tour, I think we told you about this the last time we spoke. We were blown away when we got to Montreal, and we're the opening act, the only American band on that tour. And by the time we're playing our second song, which just happened to be Balrog General, they were singing along to it. They knew the lyrics.
Knew all the lyrics, not just the chorus. It was nuts, man. These guys pre-gamed. They were serious.
Yeah, that was a sold-out show. Those people up there are amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, they love their metal, man. We can't wait to get back to Canada.
Yes.
Also, I want to say that the poutine is really good.
I like it. Yeah.
If you don't know what poutine is, you need to get on board.
Yep.
It is the way.
Us Americans have many jokes about that, but no, seriously. Try the
It's good stuff. Gravy and French fries and cheese curds.
Yeah.
What can go wrong?
Fuck yeah, man. Code of the road.
Yeah.
Another question, Ashley wants to know, do you have any interesting backstage stories to tell?
There's a lot, but I will say one of my favorites is actually while we were in Montreal and we were backstage getting our makeup on, and Yaska and Henka from Children of Bodom came by and just poked their heads into our dressing room while we were putting on the makeup, and they asked about the makeup, what was it all about? And we didn't even get that deep into the explanation before it just clicked with them. They understood. It's like, oh, the vocalist has the blindfold, and so the makeup is emulating the blindfold on you guys. It's like, yeah, that's right. Normally we have to explain that to everybody.
Yeah, and usually they've already hung up on you, like, yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, sure, we get it.
Yeah, they just took that in, and it was awesome. Also, after Charlotte, we were discussing Finnish movies, of which there's not that many that you get here in the U.S. But you know, we had taken. We'd started the first 4 dates of the tour, took a couple weeks off while other bands carried on the opening slot, and we picked back up with them. And by the time we got to Charlotte, we're talking with the guys in Swallow the Sun and Bodom about the movie Heavy Trip. And of course, all the guys in Wolfheart and Swallow the Sun had already seen Heavy Trip, but none of the guys in Bodom had, so that just turned into 3 bands telling Yaska, you need to watch Heavy Trip. It's hysterical.
Yeah, for those of you listening, if you have not seen this movie, it is like one of the best heavy metal movies ever made. It's hysterical.
10 out of 10. Would recommend.
Yes, absolutely.
I actually just saw the trailer for that like the other day, and I was thinking, man, this looks fucking hilarious, man.
It's fucking awesome, man.
It's great.
I'll need to check that out for sure. All right.
I'll give a shout out to Helsinki too, because right now they're number one in our listeners on Spotify. So keep listening, guys.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Another question from the listeners. Vicky wants to know, when you guys are on stage, what do you wear? Boxers, briefs, or nothing?
Oh,
Robes.
Oh wow, where do you take this one?
the lady doesn't tell.
Yeah.
No. Well, yeah. Pants.
I wear what's comfortable. Yeah.
It's hot. Those robes are hot. I'll just say that. So you can use your imagination to figure out what's
commando.
under the
No
robes.
commando. Is it winter or summer? Who's
Right.
telling?
Winter or summer doesn't matter, especially to Hex,
Yeah.
our keyboard player. He'll just walk out in the snow in barefoot and shorts.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to him.
He's a madman.
Fucking 6 feet of snow in
Flip flops.
Quebec City, and he's like walking around in flip flops.
Nuts.
Yep.
Yeah, piles of snow on the ground. It doesn't matter. He's like, flip flops and shorts.
I get
Let's
cold
go.
in summer, let alone
But
winter.
I mean, really, if you're just wanting to know what we're wearing under the robes, it's mostly just a layer of sweat.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, a good thick layer.
Don't worry about it. It's just gross.
Yeah.
And depending on how messy the sacrifice is, it might be mixed with a little bit of blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Next question. What inspired you guys to become a band?
I mean, this particular band or just being musicians? I guess the inspiration for this band was wanting to do something that no one around here was doing. And that is being a theatrical band and doing the costume and the corpse paint and do something like that, rather than just being another band that, gets up there and plays in jeans and t-shirts. We'd all done that before, and the idea was to do something bigger and grander and different. And it was that way from the very get-go when the idea of the band first happened. It's like, we're going to do it this way.
Yeah,
And-
there were a couple black metal bands in the area, but most of them were just, I might put on some spiked gauntlets tonight, and that's about as far as they went with the image.
So just doing the theatrics and stuff. I mean, we wanted to make sure, first of all, the music was there. The music had to be good, but being able to enhance that and really put on a show, I think that was really the driving force. I mean, I grew up with guys like Alice Cooper and Kiss, and I've just loved that kind of stuff since I was a little kid. And the thought of doing it was like, when we started talking about it, I totally started geeking out, and it's like, we could do this cool stuff. And yeah, we did it.
I think a lot of people actually enjoy costumed acts more than they would like to admit to, and a lot of people wish they could do it, but I think a lot of them are actually kind of afraid of looking dumb. And it's like, well, none of us have any shame. We don't care if we look stupid, so
Right,
fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, you have to go all the way. If you go half-ass with it, it doesn't work. So you have to embrace it,
Hell yeah. Well, you guys,
we're not afraid to go over the top,
you guys definitely look cool, man, for sure. Another question. Vicky wants to know, how was it to play with Philip and the Illegals?
They were actually very polite and very accommodating. I know, a lot of people give Phil a bad rap, but when we met him, he was very polite, very nice to all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good show. I mean, it was fun. We didn't spend a whole lot of time hanging out with him, but it was like we were the first band, and we picked up that show. What was it, like a couple of days before, even, wasn't it?
Well, we picked up that show.
Quick.
Well, we also picked up that show. What's interesting is we picked up that show it was like the day after Vinnie Paul died. Yeah, no, it's not Pantera, but it's like
Right.
Vinnie Paul passed, and then it was like, oh, do you guys want to play with the Illegals? And I'm going, what? They were just really professional. Behind the scenes, every time I'd see Phil, he'd just be nod at you and go, hey. And the rest of the band, they were totally cool and nice, but we didn't get to hang out with them backstage and have stories. It was one show versus when we played with Bodum and those guys, we got to see them after a few nights, so we got to get to know them a little better. So it's kind of like when you see somebody at a party, you're like, oh, hey, you're cool, you're nice, and you kind of do your thing, So they were totally cool to work with.
Hell yeah. Were they doing were they already doing the Pantera set at that time, or is that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got to watch them sound check with that, and it was pretty cool, honestly, to see that.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. All right, well, I guess I'm about out of questions for you guys, man. Is there anything else you want to let the people know?
Check out the new album, Chaos Vector. We have sat on it for way too long. Please check it out.
Not only check it out, but if you like our merch and the way it looks, buy some of it. Or tell a friend, like, hey, do you like our cool shirts and stuff? You know, buy it. Or tell somebody that would appreciate our stuff. That goes a long way. If you know somebody that likes our music, just say, hey, check out this band. This is what they're doing. That goes a long way just to tell somebody else about us, honestly.
Especially in a time when there's not a lot of shows going on right now, and the shows that you do get, the turnout isn't as big as they could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just man, thanks to everybody who has continued. You know, who you included, for the continued support. It's been great being on here, and all the nuns and acolytes out there, we love you, and we will see you as soon as we can get out there and do some rituals for you. We're going to do a sacrifice, and we're going to spill some blood, and we're going to play some fucking medals.
Yes. Blood showers,
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah, stay safe out there.
Yeah, stay safe out there. Mask up, stay safe, keep your performers alive, keep yourself alive, and let's keep the music thing going.
Fuck yeah, man. You mentioned merch, dude, and I gotta add, dude, because I got some fucking t-shirts from you guys, man. I got tapestry, and I gotta say the t-shirts are top quality too, man, like for real. Because I wear it all the fucking time, man. Fucking sometimes I sleep in it and shit, and it handles it. You know what I mean? Like, it has not fallen apart yet. And
We don't like the scratchy shirts. We like the nice.
it's thick, dude. Like it
Get what you pay for.
Yep, you get what you pay for.
hell yeah.
Same thing when you're cuddling in bed with somebody. Like, they like a soft shirt, not a rough shirt. So,
You wear shirts
well,
to
sometimes.
sleep.
Hey, I don't. But if you fall asleep and you're real tired, maybe you still have your shirt on, and then say your kitties and your puppies all want to snuggle with you, and your shirt's soft. You know, you want to come get a snuggle in the summoner shirt.
That might be a little TMI for you guys, but
Yeah, that's E-Talk for you. He'll be like opening his art school soon. We can like show you how to make art on pizza boxes.
Oh man.
That's a story for another time. We'll tell that one another time.
Where's the best place for people to go to get merch and stuff like that?
You can go to our website, summonercircle.com, and click the store link in the top navigation. Or if you can remember a URL, it is summonercircle.indiemerch.com.
Awesome. All right, well, before I let you guys go, can I get you to make us a station tag?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We'll get Blind to do it. He has the voice.
All right, man. Whenever you're ready, say something like, "This is Summoner Circle, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio."
alrighty.
This is Summoner Circle, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio.
That was awesome, dude. Hell yeah.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. All right, man. Well, thanks a lot for taking the time, guys. I always enjoy speaking to you guys, man, and you're always welcome on the show. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to blast some more Summoner Circle for these motherfuckers so they can go crazy, all right?
Thank you so much, Zach. Your support means a lot to us, brother.
Always, man. We'll talk to you later, brothers.
Take care.
Cheers.
All right.
Bye.
There you have it, folks. Summoner Circle live on the Zach Moonshine Show with Metal Devastation Radio. Like I said earlier, put your speakers in your windows, put them in your front lawns, put them in your neighbor's driveway, put them everywhere, man. If you don't see U-Haul trucks every fucking where tomorrow, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but you are not cranking it up fucking loud enough. This is Summoner Circle right here.